The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Kol halal Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach in Ruel peace, and infinite salutations to the elect that are scattered abroad doing this work in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Abal Gabar from Great Millstone, Tampa, coming at you with a lesson through the spirit. I got a few videos lined up going into the Great Reset, all right? Because with this war in Iran and Israel and America and the world's around the world, really, there's a bigger picture, all right? And the bigger picture is the Great Reset, them completely resetting the global economy and ushering and bringing in the digital currency and ultimately the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. All right, that's what this is all leading up to. All right, the hour of temptation. All right, is bigger than oil, it's bigger than energy. You know, it's about total control and digitally enslaving the population. All right, this man Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he's had this idea even going back to the Grecians of a new world order, a one world government, one world religion. Getting everybody, under one rule of law. But see, back then they didn't have the technology. Now they have the technology, right? By way of the radio frequency identification, the microchips. So without further ado, this is Dabu 7. Donald J. Trump posted this on X. All right, the world's most powerful reset. All right, this is what's happening in the world. All right, so let me go ahead and play this.
This is Dabu 7. A lot of people asking questions about this cryptic post that Trump put out talking about the world's most powerful reset. Signed, DJT. People saying, what is he talking about? Is this chatter on Russia and Ukraine? Is it purely China? America first, 40 chess, anything else? They're saying, well, I think it's rather obvious if you've been paying attention what this means. He's only said it on record, on camera. He said, look, I'm sent here to reset this whole thing. So I take that as not just the United States economically, but it's going to affect the entire globe. And he's kind of pointing in that direction. The whole thing with the Straits of Hormuz has sparked this. And
yeah, what shows you that this is a controlled demolition. All right, a controlled chaos. And it's really going back to the elites of Esau Edom. Donald Trump is nothing but a puppet for the elites to do their bidding. And he's reading from a script. He's doing exactly as he's supposed to do, and really it's the Lord. This is the Lord's plan. As the scriptures tell you, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. The Lord is the one who's pulling the strings. So this whole thing with America and Israel going to war with Iran, this Operation Epic Fury, it's all unfolding Bible prophecy. Bible prophecy is unfolding before our very eyes, and things are speeding up. And let me grab a quick one. Let's go to Romans 13 and 11. All right, and then we'll get that Habakkuk again. All right, the book of Romans chapter 13 and verse 11. It says, in that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Yeah, so now's the time to wake the hell up. You know, salvation is at the door. All right. And the prophecy says before Yahweh Shai comes back, a major prophecy we need to see, and we're watching, and really the infrastructure is pretty much here. Is the mark of the beast. All right, the digital mandatory RFID chip that's gonna be you know forced, you know or put into law. I'll say, you know, mandatory to take the chip. All right, that's Revelation the 13th chapter, but it says what? Knowing the time. So, and how do we know the times? Because we have first and foremost the Holy Spirit, the Rakak Kodash, to as the scriptures tell you in Second Ezra, the 9th chapter, to measure the times. All right, and the measuring tool that we use is the Bible. Right. So, and that's why the scriptures tell you to study to show yourself approved. You got to be studying the word, studying the scriptures to see what's going on in the world, man. All right. So let me go ahead and play.
Even if they come out and they say he's talking about something else, like, what are you talking about that makes sense to what's going on out here? Well, it's this everything going up. And with the Mar a Lago Accord coming up here just next month, when the whole thing gets rolled out, people are going to see what he means through and through. This isn't a 1 day thing. Okay. But it's happening. It's happening in real time every day. You can just watch the markets and you can see the prices of everything around the world rising.
Yeah, and this guy, Taco Tuesday, he gets on social media, and he tweets certain things just to manipulate the market. What we're seeing is complete market manipulation at its finest with this guy Donald Trump. All right, and these politicians are getting super rich and wealthy off of these market manipulations. All right, because there's no stopping what's coming. It's prophecy. So once again, you think that $4 a gallon of gas is bad. This is just the beginning. The great squeeze. They don't want people to have nothing. Going back to this guy Klaus Schwab, he said, "You will own nothing and you will be happy." you know, you will own nothing and be happy. So, and they squeezing the hell out of people. Majority of people on Earth, especially here in America, are suffering. They don't have enough. They're living paycheck to paycheck. The price of goods is skyrocketing, and this is only the beginning. All right. So, and when the great reset fully takes place, people are going to be begging for the microchip, right? Because they're going to push it as a way of, you getting your normal life back. All right. And they're going to offer you free money on a universal basic income, so on and so forth, man. You know,
Inflation rising. So to fix this, there's going to have to be an official event, in my opinion, a true reset. But what this might entail is telling everybody that we forgive you of your debt if you
mhm.
come onto the new system.
Yep.
That would walk a ton of people right into the trap. On
Yep. And I mean, on top of that, let me grab this. This is Revelation 13 and 14. It says, "And deceiveth them." So the number one way he's gonna get people to take the microchip is by deception, by way of deception. This devil is gonna deceive a lot of people into taking the mark of the beast, which that's what this whole global reset, the total reset, is all about. That's what this war in Iran is all about. All right, a total reset of the global economy, and all these other nations are gonna get on board. The microchip, Revelation the 13th chapter, what we about to go into. This is a global prophecy. This is going to be a global thing. Breaking news worldwide. You're going to have to, it's going to be mandatory for you to take a Charagma, the RFID microchip, for you to buy, sell, and to buy and sell. You want to pay your rent, you want to pay for food, for gas, for anything, you're going to have to take the microchip. That's where everything is going towards. That's why over the past 5-10 years, even before that, really, they've been forwarding this digital infrastructure. All right. I believe they call it a DPI, which is a digital public infrastructure. Everything's been going digital, because they've been preparing for this moment, you know. And what's a greater way to crash the global economy than to go to war with Iran, shut the Strait of Hormuz and, you know, bring all the economy, bring the global economy to its knees, you know. So Revelation 13 and 14, and Shalom to the brothers just tuned in. Hey, yeah, that's the spirit. All right. Revelation 13 and 13 or and 14, it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Yeah, so he's gonna push this microchip just like he did back in the C19 back in 2020 with the crack scene. He pushed it like it was, the best thing for you, you know. So they're gonna promote it. All your celebrities and politicians, they're gonna take it, they're gonna promote it, they're gonna push it out to the world. And then on top of that, they're gonna show the miracles, like this guy Elon Musk with the brain Neuralink. People got the brain chip that are paraplegic, but they can, go on the computer and do things. They can walk again. So they're gonna deceive a lot of people by these quote unquote miracles, which these are miracles, man. To make a blind person see again or to make somebody walk that's a paraplegic, that is a miracle, but it's a miracle on the left hand side. It's artificial. AI, artificial intelligence. And it's really going to be total control. Digital and slavery. That's what it is, really. Digital slavery. Total control over the population. Going back to the Aaron Russo and Alex Jones interview. All right. So, something major is about to happen. Something big is about to go down through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The Lord is about to make this thing shake. All right. Revelation 13 and 15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Yeah, and the image of the beast is going into this new world order. That's what this whole thing is centered around, and people can't even see past the surface. Oh, all you see is gas prices are $4 and you tripping. But there's a bigger picture behind all of this. The bigger picture is the new world order being established and ushering in the microchip. All right, which Great Millstone, man, we've been telling you about it for years, going back to the elder apostles, man. So everybody's gonna, all these other Hebrew Israelite camps, we're gonna see there's gonna be a great shakeup, as the elder apostle Har says all the time. Like, watch what the Lord is gonna do to the IUIC and these other Israelite camps when this prophecy comes. All right. Because as the scriptures say, then shall it be known that a prophet had been among them. The number one Israelite group, the number one Israelite camp is Great Millstone, man. All right. Nobody else is going into the prophecies like Great Millstone is going into the prophecies, starting with the elder apostles of Great Millstone, man. Constantly occupied in prophecy, man. All right. And especially when it comes to the mark of the beast. None of these other Israelite camps are going into the mark of the beast but Great Millstone, you know? And you got certain camps that know about it, but they might only do 1 or 2 lessons. Now we going into this mark of the beast every week. Brothers is doing videos on the mark of the beast daily, in Great Millstone. All right. Which that's what a true prophet is supposed to do, is give you warning. All right. And that's what we've been doing, starting with the elder apostles. We're warning you. We getting the blood off our hands, man. And this thing is gonna shake up the whole world. And when this happens, when they bring this total reset, the global reset, all right, they gonna do away with this YouTube era, man. You're not gonna have our videos. They're gonna delete all the channels. They're not gonna want brothers doing videos talking about the mark of the beast when it's out here and it's mandatory. There's gonna be something major is gonna happen where they're gonna take down the YouTube channels just like they did back in C19. And what we see more and more as the days go on was the COVID-19 shit, the scamdemic. That was all just, a test run for what they really want to do. All right, because going back to the pandemic, that was a global thing, so they had to take data globally on how the world reacted to lockdowns and stimulus checks and all of this different stuff. All right. So now we see it all playing out. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Yet the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, has given this devil power to bring this image, his new world order. He's bringing it to life. Right. But see, the Lord is going to come back in the midst of him getting, chipping people up. Right. So then that's how we know Yahweh Shai is at the door. Salvation is nearer than what we believe. Yahweh Shai is getting ready to come back. When this microchip is mandatory, we counting down days, hours before Yahweh Shai comes and cracks the sky. It could be when the chip is mandatory, like the elder apostle says, we could be out of here in a month, 2 months after that chip is mandatory. That's how fast things is going to speed up, man. And it's already speeding up fast. All right. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's going into a great persecution. Because that's a time we into, a time of heavy persecution where they're going to come down upon the household of faith. You believers, you got to understand what we signed up for. If you serving Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the Lord said you're going to be hated of all men. And some of you they shall put to death. And certain brothers of the faith are going to be martyrs for the truth. But how I see it, just speaking as a man, a lot of brothers are going to be delivered. A lot of brothers are going to be delivered from this hour of temptation, man. But just counting the cost and understanding what you're a part of, a time of great persecution is coming, because you're not going to be able to just reject the microchip just like you did with the crack scene back in the pandemic. You're not going to just be able to say, no, it's going to be, a penalty of death, right? And under the guise of martial law, martial law is going to be declared, and it's going to be military law, and before that happens, we can see a major T attack, a black swan event. They shut the lights out. Something huge is about to happen for them to fully reset this global economy. All right. And they're gonna have to scare the shit out of you people in America, man. You comfortable Americans, they're gonna scare the shit out of you, just like they did with 911 and what they did with the pandemic. They put the fear in you to take the crack scene, man. All right. And a lot of the people in the world took it. And they're gonna do the same exact thing, but just much worse when it comes down to the microchip, man. All right. Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And we know what that mark is. If you don't know, you better figure it out. We done hundreds of lessons, thousands of lessons on it. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So the mark has to do with currency, all right? Buying and selling, all right? And it's going to be linked to the blockchain, all right? And the infrastructure is here. They already got it with the tap to pay, all that, but they're going to go to the next level by putting that charagma inside you under your skin, all right? The microchip, all right? Let's keep playing this.
To a new system, the beast system, of course. Will many care? Nah. Many are going to go along with the flow, but a lot of you out there, you've had warning after warning about this moment, about when this all goes down. And to me, they really can't put the whole thing into effect until they hold your money hostage, which means any moment now, any time, there's going to be some kind of hack or cyber attack on the banks holding your money hostage. They're going to have a quick answer, which is going to be a digital currency. Just download the app and you can spend it at the gas station, at any store. It's already set up. So give me a break. All they need is the event. It's plain to see, clear to see. And it's here at any time. I mean, this man's out here openly bragging about the world's most powerful reset, and they haven't even done it yet. They haven't even done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like any moment. I don't know what else to say about it. When he's bragging about it and it still hasn't happened, well, you could say it's kind of in motion, but not until the money resets. and all the economies reset. They want everyone onto the new digital biometric slave system.
Yep.
If you can't tell. Anyway, join me for the live stream. Talking about this in greater detail. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 p.m.
Yeah. So this is the direction we're going, and it's happening quick. So let's go here real quick. Back to Habakkuk, the second chapter. All right. This is Habakkuk 2, which all the prophets got the series of visions, and they were seeing this thing take place, man. All right. John the Revelator in the book of Revelations, he actually saw people getting chipped. All right. And he wrote it down in the series of visions that he got. But this is Habakkuk 2. In verse 3, it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time." All right. And we are reaching the appointed time because, if you're watching and you measuring the time diligently, you see that all the stars are aligning perfectly for this prophecy to roll out. It could happen in the next few months, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. We're counting down months and even down to weeks at this point. It's things that's happening quick, lightning quick. It says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." And when you go into the word tarry, it means to be delayed. So this thing is not going to be delayed. The Lord is going to speed things up, and He's already doing that. All right. This ceasefire was, all BS. It was America trying to buy time, but you're not on your own time. You on the Lord's timing. And the Lord is, hey, the scriptures tell you the Lord is determined to gather the nations into the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, over there in the Middle East, the Levant, to bring the end. The Lord is determined to bring the end. The Lord is determined to gather the elect and send back his son, Yahweh Shai, to set up a righteous kingdom on earth. So the Lord is making things shake. All right. But it says, but at the end it shall speak. So now we see the visions speaking loud and clear. It tells you in what is that? Second Ezra 9, I believe. Yeah. The end is being made what? Manifest. So the end is manifesting before your very eyes. Right? And if you can't see it, it's because the Lord got you blinded. All right. And that's why we give praise to Yahweh Bashmi Awashah for opening our eyes to see and to hear and to watch and be circumspect and to understand and filter everything through the Bible. Everything that's happening is right in the Holy Bible, but majority of the earth, majority of you Israelites especially, have no idea what's going on in life. And that's why the scriptures say it's going to catch you as a thief in the night. You're going to get caught as a thief in the night, man. Habakkuk 2 and 4 says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith." Yeah, so this man, Esau Edom, the devil the Bible speaks of, the so-called white man, this man was created to be the wicked, man. All right? Created to be the devil, man. So he can't do good. And now we see him making these stupid decisions because, like the scriptures say, is there no more wisdom in Teman? Thy wise men, have. So this guy in the suit and tie, he's being exposed for being a damn cave beast demon. All of this suit and tie shit, clean shaven face, all that was just a gimmick, of who, to hide who he really was, a damn devil, man. And everybody's gonna realize it soon when they shut this whole shit down. And people are already waking up to it. With this whole war and shit, this illegal war that's going on, people waking up to who the devil is. But Habakkuk 2 and 5, it says, "Yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." And how is he going to heap to himself all people and all nations? Is by this microchip, all right? This technology that he has, man. All right? Said he is a proud man. This is the most proud man on earth. A few days ago, he's talking about taking out a whole civilization. And how do you do that? With nuclear weapons, right? Who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death. This man is as death. Anywhere this man goes on earth, death follows him. All right. So we see this thing taking place. Now, I got this other video played out because just going into the Great Reset, which let me get on the Chat GPT. The worst case scenario of a Great Reset, right? It says in its most extreme form, critics and conspiracy theories, which hey, the conspiracy theorists are up, you know, which they called us a conspiracy theorist, but everything we saying is happening now, all right? All the way down to the very little details. We told you that World War III was coming, but we even went even deeper and we told you that Israel was going to drag America into World War III. Is that not exactly what happened? We did videos on that years ago. Elder apostles decades ago. All right. The Great Reset as something like, so this is explaining it. It says governments and global elites often associated with figures like Klaus Schwab. Yeah, this devil. You will eat the bugs. They want you to eat bugs. They want you to own nothing and be happy about it. It says gaining. So what a Great Reset looks like. Governments and global elites gaining centralized control over economies and personal lives. That's what they want. That's what this whole microchip is about. That's what this whole Great Reset is about. Replacement of private ownership with controlled access, often summarized as look, you'll own nothing. Yeah, that's what he said. You will own nothing. All right. So they want this. All right. The replacement of private ownership. You're not going to be able to own nothing. Okay. Digital currencies replacing cash. That's why everything's going digital. All right. And that's why there's multi-trillion dollar debt bubble is gonna pop, and they're gonna sneak in the digital way by way of the microchip. All right, digital currencies replacing cash. That's why they got the blockchain. It says enabling total financial surveillance. Yeah, total financial surveillance, meaning to track your every purchase. Because right now with cash, you know, they can't track, cash transactions. So they don't want that no more. And cash transactions are not taxable. For instance, if I have somebody come into my house to mow my yard and I pay him whatever it is, $100 a month in cash, the elites are not seeing that transaction. It's not taxable. So they don't want that. They want everything on the blockchain, everything taxable, everything under total financial surveillance, as it says. And how are they going to do it? It says increased use of technology, AI, digital IDs. This is happening right now. Scriptures tell you knowledge shall increase, right? It says to monitor behavior. Yeah, so they have something called the social credit score, and they already got that in China. Everybody linked to a database, and you know, depending on your social media and what you post, you're gonna have a social credit score, and your social credit score is gonna dictate how much you pay for goods, because the money that they're gonna give you is all programmable money. It's not like you're gonna be able to save money. Nah, the money's gonna just reset every month. They might give you, you know, 25 to let's say $3,000 a month they give you. Well, by the end of the month, if you still have 1,000 left, well, guess what? They're just gonna reset you back to 3,000. There's gonna be no such thing as saving money anymore. They're just gonna give you what you need to survive. And everybody, like once again, everybody's price on things is gonna be different depending on your social credit score. You might go to the store and you might want to buy some liquor, and they say, "Nope, you're not buying no liquor. You can this money's programmable. You can go buy pizza, and you get the pizza. It might be $5, but for the person behind you, it might be $15. Everything's gonna be programmable based on your social credit score. and things of that nature. All right, it says reduce personal freedoms under the justification of crisis, pandemics, climate. Yeah, so energy crisis, climate crisis. They might throw in another pandemic. This version paints a picture of a technocratic, highly controlled society where the individual autonomy is heavily limited. Autonomy is heavily limited. So total control over the population, right? Now I got this video. This is gonna be the last video. People crashing out over food prices right now, right? And they about to go even higher. The great squeeze is coming, and it's already here.
I just bought 4 condiments from the grocery store. 4. Okay. We have ketchup, I did mayo, ranch, and barbecue sauce. Literally only 4 of these. Okay. And as you can see, they're like their regular sizes. All right. Guess how much money it was? It was $20 for 4 regular sized condiments.
Mhm.
And the smaller, tinier versions that were literally like this much was only $1 cheaper. So I was like, well, what's the point of me only getting like this tiny itty bitty half petite Bella Hadid size when I could just get the regular size for $1 more? $20 for 4 condiments.
Grocery prices just continue to get worse every single day. And I'm glad I found this video. I'm glad that I am able to connect with, a lot of people right now who are dealing with the same thing. And, while grocery prices have been going with different people within a household, it is insane. And they continue to grow up every single day. And I think last year was a massive year in terms of growth on the grocery prices and inflation. But, I'm not going to discount the things that we saw during the pandemic and many other things. But people are fed up. People are seriously tired of these insane grocery prices. And I'm for every good reason. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest, and I hate to bring the barrier of bad news, but I think it's gonna get worse. And I'll explain to you why after we watch this video right here.
$7 for 10 slices of cheese? Need to get out of the US.
$75 for 3 steaks. You think that's ridiculous? Last week I was here, it was $70 for 3 steaks. Now it's 75.
Because I'm looking for some ground beef for my lasagna and also for my spaghetti. Man, the ground beef, why is it $30?
$5.99 for a regular sized bag of Doritos. Are you freaking kidding me?
I told my nephew, go pick out your favorite.
Yeah, not only is the price going up tremendously, all right, this is inflation, which we go into Revelation 6 and 6 a lot. The hyperinflation, that's the hyperinflation scripture, Revelation 6 and 6. But not only is the price going up, but the packaging is getting smaller. It's called shrinkflation. So the packaging, the bottles, everything is getting smaller and the prices are going up. So you're getting less juice or less potato chips for a more price. So this place is done.
99 cents.
Nah, nigga, we got water at the crib. Let's go.
This used to be $3 to $4. This is $9.29 for a case of sodas.
And don't forget, you buying this shit and you getting cancer from it. So you paying top dollar for some cancer.
Look at this, $3.29 for a regular damn Hershey's bar. You guys are smoking crack.
10 pretzels in there, right? $25.
And look at the ingredient list. It's supposed to be pretzels with some chocolate. Look at the ingredient list. You can't even pronounce some of the stuff that's on the ingredients. And this is what they feed you in America, man. And they tax you for it. 25, 26. The food is killing you. All right. And why is that? Because Big Pharma ain't gonna make no money if you healthy. They want you sick. All right. So hey, continue to watch, continue to pray, continue to fast, continue to stay spiritual, continue to, send curses on this place, man. All right. Call Yabash Shai. Till next time, shalom.